You are listening to the Global Psychosis Network.
We're on? Yo, what up? It's Radican here, chilling at the homie Jimbo Trashy's pad, testing out the new lens that he got, seeing what up, just in between work shifts. Thought we'd just try something I wrote. Let's do it. It's a little harder than you maybe used to. There's a lock on the door, I break right through. I'll juggernaut through anything if it's to find you. I'll kill a father and a mother and a sister and a brother. Even motherfucking Sam couldn't walk through my summer. Bad man, pajama, act half-witted. That isn't an average man living. Ask for compassion, damn it, you can't get it. Has to be trapped in Azkaban prison. It's a dog-eat-dog world. And you're all these squirrels on my nuts, bras on my curls. Awkward with girls, low self-esteem. Get to your knees and just blow like a breeze. Fucking blow like a storm on a warm island shore for a fortnight or more. Like the almighty Thor, snap, crackle, and pop. I'm Van Damme and a cock. Off topic, I like backgammon a lot. Well, I boom with the system, I choose what I'm giving for a few fucking minutes. Would you shoot me and listen? So bye, black sheep, copping a damn thing. Black rain clouds on the back of my plan B. Plan A is something I can't say. Stand straight, head, catch a bottle of champagne. That's gay. Everything that you do, you being a man, something that you can't prove. I'm the baddest of avatars, that surpass me as Annie-Bar. Asking all the acolytes to actually act hard. Vanguard, slamming the black tar is something that I've never done, but that be my last scar. Arr! Where's my parrot?
You are listening to the Global Psychosis Network.
Alright, welcome back to the Jimbo Trashy podcast. So anyways, we were saying here about the Xbox 720 with all these different specs and whatnot. Who do you guys seen taking over the race here in the video game console war? I think Apple wants to make a system too now because they're taking off with the phones and whatnot.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called, but I've heard rumors that they're trying to make a system probably in the next gen war or whatever the fuck that is.
I mean, for me personally right now, the thing I like about 360 is that they get a lot of, they just get a lot of stuff like before PS3 does, with map packs and, different add-ons to games. And that's why I like Xbox 360 better. But with PS3, like I said, I have that as well. And just it's a better, faster machine, but the thing is, they had that whole thing with the hacking, was, I don't know, last year or something like that, but I kind of see Xbox taking it over. The one thing that PS3 does have though is free online, as opposed to Xbox where you have to pay $50 a year. But I mean, not everything on PS3 is free. The online gaming's free and all that stuff. You can surf, but if you want to get I don't know, games or movies and stuff, you got to pay for it as well. And same thing on Xbox. I would just say content-wise, Xbox better, but PS3 does have the free online gaming. So
I definitely like Xbox better personally.
yeah.
But I do like PS3 mainly because Twisted Metal is like my favorite franchise of all time. I mean, GTA and Twisted Metal are like neck and neck for me. But Twisted Metal, is a Sony product only. So if it wasn't for Twisted Metal, I probably wouldn't even purchase Sony shit anymore, to be honest. But
what was one of the games that was for a while? It was like you said, Twisted Metal. There was another game for a while. It was just like prime example, Halo. Halo is only on Xbox, and if they made that game like. That's why there's a lot of Xbox 360 gamers, because they were the first ones to do online, and that's how it got big. And then PS2 was, and then PlayStation, Sony, okay, we'll do it with the PS2, and then you had 360 and PS3 coming out, and now it's just a huge community, man. I mean, they have a thing where you're playing, and like on Black Ops, they have a globe, and it's rotating, and you'll see like you'll see like Japan lit up, and then it goes across, and you have India, and the Middle East is just black because it's blacked out. Like they can't afford shit over there, that's why it's a crappy area. But then you get to, like
That's what we blunt or anything.
yeah, I mean you get to Europe and it's just lit up, and then you get to America and on the East Coast, dude, like all of America is bright except for like North Dakota and
what the fuck are they doing over there? Huh?
Yeah. I mean, and then,
pigs.
There's like, there's like a couple people in Iowa playing, and that's because, everyone there is wrestling. Iowa's a great state. I've been there for wrestling, but You know, and then you get to the West Coast and it's just lit up, dude. I mean, it's a huge community and it's fun. You know, it's a great time killer too, man. You know, when you're done with school or the gym or you work for the day and you're just like, damn, dude, you get online, play some games, watch some Netflix, you know.
Or if you're out for 3 months with a torn labrum, they definitely come in handy.
What have you been playing, Jason?
Well, I just bought Dishonored and beat that. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
pretty awesome game. It was like nominee for Game of the Year.
What kind of game is that?
It's like a stealth. It's first person, but it's like stealth, and you got to creep up on people. You can do it like the type of style where you're not seeing the entire game, and you don't even have to kill anyone if you're stealth enough. But or you can do my style, which is just go in there and kill everyone.
Yeah, dude,
kind of like Hitman in a way.
I've never played Hitman, but I'm guessing it's similar. Yeah, it's in.
Dude.
I don't know if Hitman's first person though or not. And this one, it's got a lot of cool little magic things thrown in it too. And
Hitman, I just got done playing the latest Hitman Absolution, and
How was that? I want to buy that one.
dude, it's amazing, man. It's one of the hardest games I've ever played. Well, because I like to play games on the hardest difficulty because you get more. Sound like a nerd, but you get more gamer points.
well, it just makes it better too. You don't
Yeah.
want to replay it later on and make it harder. Like
Big Bang Theory.
Like at this age too, like if you have enough game experience, you're gonna figure out a way to beat the game. So you might as well make it a little more challenging, I think.
I mean, yeah, but in this Hitman game, they have the easiest level, and then they have normal, and then they have hard, and then I think it's I played it on hard, and then they have 2 levels past that, and the level past the last level, it says the only thing you have is just a crosshair for your gun. There's no tips, there's no hints, nothing. Like, I mean, and there's so many things you could do. Like, you could create your own contracts in the online community and have your friends play it or other online gamers play it. And, I was thinking about playing again, put it on the hardest difficulty, but I know I'm going to break a controller, so I need some. I'll probably do it again in the summer or something, but...
Well, as you can tell, I'm more of a sports guy. I play FIFA online. And if I play FIFA on PS3, I have friends that do it. They say the lag is terrible. I play in a league. It's 11 on 11. Each guy controls their own guy in the field, and you have to talk. And we have a website for it, leaguearena.com, leaguedaddy.com, and it gets competitive. We're talking shit to each other. Like, I play right now for a team called it's FIFA, for Virtual International FIFA or Football Association. They also have VHL for a hockey game. You get on there and you get rivalries going like real life. You're talking shit on there. You're sending messages to other managers like, "Yeah, we're gonna fuck you up tonight," and blah blah blah. And it gets nuts. And people on PS3 are like, "Yeah, we don't have that." And I'm like, "That's because you guys can't keep up." Like, I'll play a PS3 team right now. We'll smoke them.
And then the cool thing is too is just like if you get a good clan going, in one of these games like Black Ops. I mean, there's a couple of people I play with, and just playing a couple games with them randomly, like in a server, and then just talking to them, like, hey man, like, dude, I'm gonna add you, like whenever we're on, let's play, and then you get win streaks going, you get good, and I mean it gets really competitive out there, and it gets really frustrating, and then you get my dad who's born in 1950, he goes, I don't understand this shit, man, like, it's bullshit, we used to go outside and play sports. He's like, well, Dad, I'm 24, I like to party, and sometimes you're a little too hungover. Video games sounds great. So
I used to play a lot of video games back in the day, but once you start doing like music production stuff, like a lot of the stuff's now, I mean, this right here, what I'm using to record this podcast, to me this is like a video game, Yeah. I mean, not so much like what I'm doing right now because I'm just monitoring levels and shit, but when you're doing like a song and you're mixing shit, you're like clicking on buttons and shit, making sure the compressor does this and the EQs over here. It's like, to me, it's a video game. So I don't really play as many video games as I'd like to, and I think a lot of that's to do with me just taking over, But once you create something, and then it kind of feels like a reward to just veg out and play some fucking video games, So for me, I mean, I don't really play as many as I used to do, but like when GTA 5 comes out this year, I'm probably gonna fucking lose some friends, and might get broken up a couple times.
You got to give the girlfriend the talking to, like, look, this is nothing personal. This is just good. It's a fact of nature for the next 3 months. Probably not gonna be hanging out very much.
Dude, Danny calls it what does he call it? He calls it he goes, hey, I'm feeling a little under the weather. I can't hang out for 5 days.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, man, our buddy, whenever a new game comes out, hey man, let's go out, let's get a couple drinks, let's hang out, let's party.
Oh, Skyrim.
Dude, I'm gonna. Yeah, dude. When he got Skyrim, man, this kid was a ghost, dude. he wouldn't even answer his phone, dude. And he would, you know, he's got a girlfriend. He'd barely answer his phone for his girlfriend. He would totally ignore ours. And he's still like that. I mean,
Hopefully she's not listening.
Dude, I had this buddy who was a complete fucking gamer nerd, like the most gamer nerd friend I ever fucking had, right? And I mean, everyone would go over there because, you know, we could just smoke weed anywhere. You know, it was a total like party pad, you know. He'd never clean up his fucking room. Just total fucking disaster. Like, hey, dude, I spilled your bong water. Oh, it's all good. It'll dry up. Like, just did not give a fuck, you know.
Yeah, they can't even hear anything. You know, they're so zoned in.
And like, yeah, he's telling you this, like you're like staring at the back of his head while he's telling you this shit. Meanwhile, you're like playing Counter-Strike or some shit, you know. But he had like this hot ass girlfriend that was fucking like always horny and shit. And like she was like, Tamer, like come on, like let's, you know, I want to fuck, you know, like right in front of us and shit. And like, oh, I'll do it later.
oh man, I don't know if I could do that, dude.
And I was just like, dude, like that must be a really cool game, man.
Yeah.
Have you seen that video on YouTube? It's called, this is a parody, you know that song, You Put the Blame on Me by I think Akon? They had a song, it's like, You Can Blame Halo 3. They did a parody on it. It's like, didn't feed the dog and now he's dead. It's like all this stuff about what he didn't do. It's funny.
Yeah, man, it's great. I enjoy it. I mean, I honestly see myself for the rest of my life playing video games, even my grandchildren, get competitive with them and talking shit to them, you know, when I'm some old 7-year-old fart. Get over here, you little cocksucker, goddamn it. You know what I mean? Like,
I know, it's weird. Like, I want to know if like, you know, people that are old and shit, you see how people dress in like 75 years old, they wear just like, it's like they'll go to the grandpa store and they wear the grandpa clothes and shit, you know, and they all just talk about WWE too. I wonder if like when we're 70, are we gonna be wearing the same exact clothes, fucking playing video games still? We're the same guys, we're just fucking old as fuck now, and people don't want to fuck us anymore, you know?
well, dude, that's what Viagra's for, I guess, man. So
It'll be just interesting, I think. I mean, what if something else comes out? Because, I mean, we're all used to playing video games. We all grew up with it. But it's like the generation before didn't even have that. So it's hard for them to understand. Like, what new thing is going to come out that all the kids want to play that we're just like, that's dumb. I'm going to go play my PS5 right now.
Oh, yeah.
That's a real toy.
We're like the cavemen of gamers, dude.
I know, we really are. I mean, when did they come out? Like the 1980s, the early 80s, right? Like,
yeah,
so,
man. You know, you had, what was the first one? It was Atari.
Atari, yeah.
And then, you know, you had...
I didn't Television. That was the first one I ever had.
Damn.
What is that?
This shit, I don't know. I don't even know who the fuck makes it, dude. You have to like Google it or something. But
Television.
I used to play this game called Shark. It was like the cheesiest graphics. Like, the whole screen's just blue, and you have this little like 4-bit looking fucking fish that would just go around, and you just eat the fish that's a little bit smaller than you, and then you get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then eventually you try and eat the shark, but the shark would always fucking be really quick and would eat you. I mean, I played that shit when I was like 4 years old, you know.
That's crazy.
I actually found it on the internet probably like 5 years ago. I'm like, dude, remember that game fucking Shark? I'm like, I gotta fucking find this shit, dude. And I played it again at like 25. I'm like, oh shit, this game was fucking easy as fuck. You know? I thought it was like the hardest game ever back then, you know?
A lot of those games back then, like especially I remember Super Mario Brothers, like they were so hard because you could never save. You could never have a point where you can pick off later on. So it's like if you wanted to beat that game, like you were making an all-day investment on that thing, and like if you died like, you know, 80% into it, you're just like, fuck, dude, I can't believe I got that far and I fucking died on that part.
It's like there goes tomorrow.
Exactly.
Yeah, my patience got kind of thin now. It's like if I have to go all the way back and do something over again, I just don't want to do it now.
Oh yeah, well, that's why they have save points. Like it automatically saves for you like every couple of minutes. So.
Yeah, that was a dream come true for
awesome.
me. Because I've always been the kind of person that like I want to go through it once or maybe twice, you know, but like just to do it over and over again, I don't have. I mean, that's like I don't know, skee ball or some shit. I can't fucking do it. We'll be right back on the Jimbo Trashy podcast.
Everything is a conspiracy.
Everything is a conspiracy.
Everything is a conspiracy.
Everything is a conspiracy.
You are listening to the Global Psychosis Network.
I am James Trashy from El Viso Nacid.
And you're watching the Global Psychosis Network.
You are listening to the Global Psychosis Network.
Thank you for calling Dennis Express. This is Diane speaking. How can I help you?
Yeah, hi. I was wondering if you had dog on the menu.
I'm so sorry.
Do you have do you guys serve dog, like dog mixed with broccoli?
Oh, dog?
Yeah, like little chunks of dog mixed in with
No,
broccoli?
we don't have that.
How about like cat or anything like that?
Oh, no, we don't serve those kinds of meat.
I thought it was I thought you guys were Chinese food though.
Yeah, but we don't do that
So you don't serve dog or cat.
now.
Is there any way you guys could get that on the menu?
Oh, you could call our corporate office, but I can't decide any of those stuff.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for your help.
Okay, you're welcome.
Have a nice day.
All right, bye.
Bye.
You are listening to the Global Psychosis Network.
Welcome back to the Jimbo Trashy podcast. So I don't know that much about sports, but I know RG3 had a knee injury. So Grandmaster Mike, if you wouldn't mind taking over the throne for a second, kind of going over this topic here.
Oh yeah, no problem. So as you guys know, RG3 messed up his knee
last Sunday, right?
Yeah, it was last Sunday against the
Seahawks.
Seattle Seahawks. He had a knee injury from the past. Playing quarterback. He's a fast guy. There's these new quarterbacks now. They call them like mobile quarterbacks. Because they can run. Big guy who started that was Michael Vick. I mean, the guy can run, he can throw, he's got a cannon for an arm, and he ended up having a knee injury and a brace, but this last game, bad snap from the center, went to go after the ball, and you just see his knee collapse. First thing I'm thinking is, an ACL injury. That's what ends up happening. I think he got out of surgery today or yesterday. He ends up partially tearing his ACL and his LCL, and that's a hard injury to come back for, but it is doable.
They were partially torn, but they had to completely redo them from what I heard.
Yeah.
Because they said, like, if he was a normal person that just lived a normal life, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. But when you're an athlete on the grandest stage of them all, then it definitely becomes a big factor.
I mean, he's still young. He's 21. No, he's 22.
Yeah.
So he's going to come back stronger than ever. I mean, look at a guy like Adrian Peterson.
That was crazy.
Last year blew out his knee, and then he comes back and he ends up being 9 yards short for the all-time record for rushing yards during a regular season. And he's saying in his interview, he's like, I didn't even know. I mean, he knew, but he wasn't thinking about it because he wanted to get in the playoffs. He's talk about between him and Peyton Manning becoming comeback players of the year. Me personally, I see Peyton Manning winning this year. I see him coming back going all the way. I mean, this guy is having record seasons compared to, when he won his first Super Bowl and his MVP seasons. I mean, he's going nuts.
This year for him, I think it might be the most balanced team he's ever been on. He's never been on a super strong defensive team before.
Yeah.
And to see him have a team that was based around defense last year is really awesome to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool too, seeing all these guys come back. They still have the drive and the momentum, for their careers. But, as we get older, you gotta understand they're getting older. And, I remember being a huge Tennessee Vols fan because Peyton Manning he's my favorite quarterback. Him and Troy Aikman, I think those guys are awesome, which they are. But, Peyton, he signed a 5-year deal and he's in year one. I mean, at the end of those 5 years, he's done. And it's like, I remember growing up watching him play, and it's like, your idol started to retire. For baseball, I loved Ken Griffey Jr. He's gone. You look at, Mark McGwire.
I'm in that boat right now with Kobe Bryant. He came onto the scene. I was in 6th grade, so it's like I got to see him basically progress and get older as I got older. And now that I'm 28, all of a sudden he's near the kind of like the twilight of his career. He's got maybe 3 or 4 years left in him, and it's crazy to think that I'll be watching Laker games one day and he won't be playing.
Yeah. Big guy for me like that for basketball was, Shaq.
Yeah.
I remember watching Shaq play, and Jordan as well, man. I was a huge Chicago Bulls fan because of Jordan, man. I mean, he's why I got into basketball. He, just winning 3, retiring for a couple years, whatever, then coming back and then winning 3 more. And he's arguably one of the greatest basketball players of all time.
If not the best.
Yeah, and that's when. It's guys like him that get younger guys coming up, and there's always going to be that great athlete, but you compare him to guys like Jordan for basketball, for football, for quarterbacks. You're looking at you're looking at Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, Troy Aikman, Roger Staubach. Like, he was way back in the day, just all these guys, and they start to retire. My dad still talks about Dick Butkus, who was a middle linebacker for the Chicago Bears. I've seen video clips of this dude, and he's just a beast, man. You look at him now, he's like in his 60s, and he's still huge. Like,
Definitely.
Were you guys ever into professional wrestling at all?
Oh yeah, dude.
I was just checking out Superstar Billy Graham. Remember that guy? That guy was bigger than fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger, in his prime.
Yeah.
I remember how bigger Schwarzenegger was back in like '78 and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was looking at photos and shit, and fucking like he just like dwarfs fucking Schwarzenegger when they fucking pose and shit.
Dude, one of the best professional wrestlers was Andre the Giant, man. This dude, I watched this documentary on him. He was over 7 feet tall. I think it was like 400, 500 pounds, and he would just eat and drink so much. Like, he would drink a keg of beer and like barely be drunk, and then he would have his after dessert drinks, and it'd be some sweet type of cognac, and he just barely have a buzz, and everybody else be drinking with him, and they just be all just blacked out. He's like, what's the matter? And, he'd drive him home because he was not drunk, Yeah, man, I was into that huge thing.
That's quite the double-edged sword too. I can't imagine having to drink that much in order to just get a buzz on, because that'd be disappointing a couple of nights. When you really just want to cut loose, and you're just like, man, I'm drinking so fast. You gotta be peeing so much too, man.
Bar tab's probably like $400,
exactly.
and he's like, oh, whatever, I don't care.
It's like, oh.
I don't know what it is, but when I go out to drink, I feel like I get buzzed quicker.
Yeah.
I think it's the energy, I always feel like when you go out, you got especially, you realize the more fun you're having and the better the energy of the room is, the faster you're drinking. People are probably buying shots more likely in that situation.
Blood's running faster.
Yeah, blood's running faster too, exactly.
I mean, last night, because I go to school up north, and a couple of my buddies, I'm in a fraternity up there, and a couple of my buddies, they all live in Northern California. Me, we're obviously from Southern California. And they did this whole road trip, they went all the way down to Newport, and, my house was the last stop, and, me and Schmeegs, we went out with these guys last night, and, we went out for a casual happy hour, we had fun, having some drinks, and then the happy hour turns into a little bit of boozing, then we go back to my place, have a couple beers, and then, we go out later that night, and we're just, like, tanked, man, and having a great time. I woke up this morning, I was just, what happened? It was a blast, though. It definitely is the energy, being with all your friends. And, it's great, too, when the girls are out and they're all about it and they're getting happy. And, man, it's just a great time.
Yeah, I know sometimes when I'm at a bar, if I'm sober and everyone I know is, like, having a good time, I kind of feel a little buzzed, too. Even though I had nothing to drink, I'll kind of feel, like, a little lightheaded. Just like, I'm kind of feeling something right now. And it's kind of weird. It kind of, like, rubs off on people and shit,
Contact high, right?
Yeah. Contact drunk.
Buzz, yeah.
Touching back on that RG3 thing real quick, just to finish that up. Two things come to mind. Obviously, they're playing Seattle, and Pete Carroll is notorious this year for being up by 30-something points and going for it on fourth down, or doing a fake punt.
Yeah.
Just to rub it in the other team's face.
I mean,
and then you have Friday Night Lights. You look at Booby Miles. You blame too much. Kind of put yourself at risk, but I can see where you probably thought about that, but also wanted to rub it in Pete Carroll's face, coach, as far as, because they all say, oh yeah, whatever, like.
Do you guys think that was controversial for Mike Shanahan to still have him in the game?
Yeah.
At that point, because at the point of that bad snap where he kind of just gave out, the game was kind of already over at that point, correct?
They were hoping for a comeback, but you could tell after the Redskins got those first 2 touchdowns, it just. Boom, the momentum was gone. And, you see the Seahawks just start to come back slowly and progressively. And then their quarterback's Russell Wilson, who, the dude's a stud, man. I mean, he's another one of those mobile quarterbacks we're talking about that can run and gun. He can run, he can throw. And, he starts getting the energy. And, they went into halftime down 14-13. They were down by 1 point, and then they just come back and they keep scoring. I mean, they played the San Francisco 49ers this Sunday. I think they're going to give the 49ers a run for their money. It's going to be a good game, but the 49ers will win with their defense.
I think so.
Defense.
They will.
Divisional game too is always a little more fun as far as like how close it's going to be. I think.
How many teams are actually left in the playoffs now?
You know, Schmeegs?
Yeah, 4 get the first round bye.
Yeah.
4 go on from the first wild card rounds.
Yeah, it's going to be good though, man, because you know you have the Patriots playing, you have the Broncos playing, the 49ers, the Packers. I mean,
all the big teams now that were the top seeds are now involved in the playoffs. They weren't last week; they got a bye. Now they're all in there,
and
so the big dogs are fighting.
It's going to be competitive, man. I mean, when it comes to the championship games, these games are just blood and guts are going to be on the field, man. You know, the big thing for me too is, you know, we were talking about these guys retiring and stuff. You know, Ray Lewis announced his retirement, and you know, he was out for basically the whole season with a torn triceps. And then he comes back, and he has the most tackles on his team. And, you know, it's his last game there. He's got adrenaline flowing. I'm pretty sure they're playing the Broncos.
Yeah, they were talking earlier about Manning versus Ray Lewis for the last time. Like, they've been fighting each other for the last, like, decade and a half, you know, so.
I mean, that's going to be a good game. Because Manning's my favorite quarterback. I would like to see him win, but Ray Lewis is one of my favorite linebackers, and it's going to be a good game, and whoever wins, it'd be great, but at the same time, it's like, damn, man, you know, you don't want to see these guys be done. And,
definitely. I was bummed a couple of years ago when, you know, Peyton Manning didn't play last year. I thought that might have been it. Yeah. I was bummed that I didn't get to see that one last, you know, hurrah from that guy as, like, you know, one of the greatest quarterbacks of our generation to at least get a decent send-off, not just some weird... Is he going to come back? Is he not? Yeah. Like, all right, he's going to try. And then finally he did, though. So I'm really stoked about that.
I heard that he could have come back last year, but the doctors advised him against it. Like, he was already healed, and he listened to them. He took his time. The only reason why he got let go by the Colts, in my opinion, was that $15 million signing bonus, or reward, whatever you want to call it, that he was going to get. And the owner was... You know, skeptical. First pick in the draft, skeptical.
It was a good time, I think, for them to go on to the next chapter. You know, when you have the first round pick, you have a top prospect like Luck to choose from, go with a new coaching staff, all that stuff.
I mean, and look what Luck did this year. I believe the Colts went 11-5 or 10-6 or something like that.
That was
hey
really
guys,
fun.
we have about a minute left. Is there anything that you guys want to plug before we get out of here? Any sort of like Twitter or Facebook? I mean, I don't know if you guys want followers or whatnot, but I mean, I don't know. It's up to you guys. You guys are good?
No, I'm good, yeah.
Looking forward to a freeway series in October.
I'm
saying it's going to happen.
Nice.
If both teams click right, I'm looking to go into all 7, hoping in 7 Angels versus Dodgers games.
Yeah, that'd be great, man. They're both stacked this year. They're both doing good. So.
That's always been my dream, like World Series, to see that. That's why I don't really like the interleague play, because it kind of spoiled it for me.
Yeah, they're doing actually a lot of interleague play this year too, which is kind of a bummer, I think.
Yeah,
but we'll see how it goes.
I was in 18 games, and this year the Angels and Dodgers only play in the regular season 6. Usually, or 4. Usually it's 3 away, 3 home. This year it's 2 away, 2 home, and Dodgers play the whole AL East.
Yep.
Yeah, so. All right, guys. Thank you guys for coming down here. We'll see you next time on the Jimbo Trashy podcast, where everything is a conspiracy. Even you guys are a conspiracy.
Check out the latest sounds from the occult experimental rock project, Elvis on Acid, with their second album release, Prehistoric Psychonaut.
With historic obligations, we've come so far. We're cutting away the spiritual line. Consolation, they don't care who you are. You're damning us to hell, it's written in the stars.
Follow Elvis on Acid on Twitter, @Elvis on Acid. Go to youtube.com/Elvis on Acid to hear the latest. Global Psychosis Entertainment, Dark Jam Records, and Elvis on Acid are not responsible for any violent revolutions, drug overdoses, or attempted suicides that may occur after listening. This ad has been brought to you by Global Psychosis Entertainment and Dark Jam Records. Copyright 2013.